What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is Shane, the Rising Grind Picker, and I just want to do a quick little video kind of explaining stuff that Amazon FBA gurus refuse to tell you, lie to you about, or don't tell you. So stay tuned. Listen, we all know that everybody on YouTube makes selling on Amazon look so easy, and let me tell you, it's not that easy. Now, one thing I can tell you is you have a bunch of gurus out there on Amazon FBA trying to sell you a course or trying to get you to buy their next hot product or hot whatever it is. It doesn't matter. But people make it look easy. This is not easy. This business takes time to scale. It takes time to do. This month in February, we had 7 days. I've sold over $14,000. But it is not easy. And what I'm going to tell you is 3 huge disadvantages of why this isn't easy and why it looks so easy. So the first one is that when you're a new seller, you are gated or restricted on a lot of items, which means you can't sell them on Amazon until Amazon lets you sell them. So you can get around that by trying to go through a distributor. Sometimes that works and getting a wholesale invoice. But most of the time, what Amazon's doing is sometimes that won't even work because they're gating you on a product and restricting you to protect their customers. It's not to protect anybody else but their customers. When you're selling on Amazon, they are not your customers. They are Amazon's customers. So please remember that, because when you first start, it is going to be hard. This is the one thing that the gurus don't tell you. They do videos where, they say, I quit my full-time job to sell on Amazon. And they've been doing it 6 months. It don't work like that. One thing I can tell you is when I first started, I had to get into selling used books because I was restricted on literally everything. I couldn't sell nothing. And I actually got frustrated. I quit Amazon for a year. I went back to it and I started selling on it again. And this time I basically gave myself the option of I don't have a choice. I have to make this work. And I did. But it took a long time to do that. Right now I'm selling anywhere from about $1,400 to $2,500 a day. Some days $3,000 to $4,000. Just depends. But this takes a long time to build. You're not going to build it overnight. You're not going to be able to go to Walmart and buy a ton of clearance and build this business. It's going to take more effort than just that. You have to, if you want to do a lot of volume, you have to find a lot of products. You have to spend a lot of money to find products. So that's one of the things that the gurus don't tell you. The second thing that the gurus don't tell you is that Amazon can suspend you for pretty much anything. And one thing detrimental to an Amazon FBA business and selling online and doing e-commerce is that you're on Amazon's platform. You're in their sandbox. So what that means is if you do something wrong and really mess up, they're probably going to suspend you. And then you're going to have to go and find a lawyer that does Amazon, an Amazon lawyer, pay them $3,000 to $5,000 to get you unsuspended. And then they're going to have to call Amazon. They're going to have to go through a bunch of red tape and to try to get you unsuspended. If you really break the rules intentionally, sometimes those suspensions are for lifetime. So keep that in mind. It's for life on some accounts. So you're not going to just be able to jump in this business and sell anything. The gurus leave that out. They make it look like you can go out and buy hundreds of thousands of dollars in Nike overnight and flip it for $500K in profit or $200K in profit, whatever. Most people can't even sell Nike on Amazon. Most people that's even sold on Amazon for 7, 8, 9 years still can't sell Nike on Amazon because Nike is a super restrictive brand. And, the way it is now, it looks like Nike is not even going to be able to allow the products on Amazon, which means Amazon can't even sell them. So if Amazon can't sell them, you're probably not going to be able to sell them. So what you have to understand is a lot of these gurus, it's the facade of selling online. They don't really sell. They're selling you a course and saying, hey, we sold $100,000 and showing you a screenshot of basically, they're showing you a screenshot of them photoshopping $100,000 month. It don't work like that. And a lot of these gurus that have tons of time to do videos and have tons of time to do this aren't really selling in the volume that they say they're selling in. And if they are, they're just buying wholesale and they're breaking even on everything. They're not actually making money. For me, I look at it as making money. Like, I have to make money. So in the last 7 days, I've sold a little over $14,000. You know, I would say probably a good chunk of that, like 40, or probably actually about 40 to 50% is profit. So I'm, usually run an ROI of 40 to 55%. There's some months my ROI is 130%. There's some where it's 30. It's really a feast or famine kind of business, and the gurus make it sound like it's just so easy. You can go anywhere and go out and buy anything and sell it, and it's not the case. You're going to be heavily restricted in items. You're going to probably have to start out selling used books or used something that's used, because used categories aren't as restrictive. So like if you go to used books and sell used books, you can sell a ton of used books, and most of them you will be ungated in or not restricted. That's the thing, is you have to start somewhere. And if you don't want to sell books and you want to take shortcuts, Amazon is not the platform for you. Amazon's not for everybody. And you have to understand there's 3,000 to 4,000 new sellers coming in every month. And there's a lot of price tanking. You can spend $1,000 on product, and by the time 10 sellers get on it and they have a price war because they've sold 2 things on Amazon and they're brand new and they don't understand. The one thing they don't understand is people use repricers. So I use a repricer. It reprices your items automatically. Well, without them understanding that, they just try to undercut you on everything. You're not going to be able to undercut people on Amazon. You can, but you're going to drastically tank that price. You're going to have to match them at the buy box and try to share the buy box with them and sell through. That's what you have to do. And people, especially new sellers, they don't understand pricing. They don't understand how the buy box works. They don't even understand how Amazon works. And that leads to my third thing the gurus don't tell you, is they don't tell you how Amazon works. You can be suspended like that and spend thousands of dollars to get unsuspended. But the other thing is you're also fighting all the new resellers and all the new sellers coming in that's making a ton of competition for you. And so you have to find ways to get past that. You're going to have to take less profit on some items, more profit on others. It's like a give and take kind of thing. You're basically, let's say you go out and you find 5 items and you buy 100 of each. Well, 2 of those you might make really good money on, and the other 3, let's say the prices tank out of the bottom and it's at break-even cost. So you're either going to have to sell the break-even, you're going to have to hold your merchandise and hold it without, even though you have money invested, you're going to have to hold it into the warehouse and wait for the price to come up, even if the item has a good enough rank to do that. Some items don't have a good enough rank for the price to rebound. And what I mean by that is it's sheer velocity. So let's say, those 3 items, they're 1,000 rank in toys. Well, you're probably going to sell, probably at least maybe 10 to 15 a day minimum at that rank, maybe more. But if it's 100,000 in toys, you might sell 1 to 2 a day, or maybe 1 every other day, or maybe 2, you're not going to sell a lot. The velocity really flip-flops there. So you have to understand that if those items, the prices tank, you may have to hold those items and wait for that price to come back up. So virtually all the people that tank the price, you're going to let them sell out. And then when it hits break even, your repricer kicks in and it tries to pull the price up to a higher dollar amount for you. And that's what you're going to have to do. So, you may have to have a lot of money invested in. If you have a lot of bad buys, let's say like you buy hundreds of units of items that necessarily aren't good buys, like they were good at the time, and then you send them in and the price tanks. You may have to hold those for 4, 5, 6, 7 months before you can sell them, unless you just want to break even. Now, sometimes if I kind of see that, I will sell an item to break even so I can take all that money and reinvest it back in my business. So you have to understand the goal is not to break even or lose money. The goal is to make money. And sometimes you have to hold your inventory for a long period of time, 5 to 6 months, in order to sell through at a profit. And the gurus don't tell people that. So you have a lot of new sellers coming in and they buy a box of, tampons for $7 and it's a 300,000 rank and they think they can buy 100 of them and make $1 million. Well, when they start sending them in, everybody's going to send them in too. So maybe you have 7 or 8, 9, 10 people on those. And a new seller, they don't run the FBA calculator. Like, you have an FBA calculator on your phone through Amazon. They don't run the profits. So they're thinking, 30% fees. I'm going to send it in at $9. Well, they paid $7. So they're losing like $4. Now, that's a drastic case. One of the cases that I came about recently was someone had bought one of the items that I had bought and purchased and sent in, and the price tanked way below, and then like 30, 40 sellers came in on it. I was the only seller at the time. So it was really, really detrimental to me, and it was like, what the heck just happened? And so at that point, I just had to sell it and lose 75 cents a unit. And I had 120 units. So I sold it and lost 70 cents a unit and then regained that $2.25 or whatever back to reinvest in other things, because I had like $3 and some change wrapped up into each item. So I had to sell for a loss at that point, because I realized this. I realized that the price wasn't going to come back up, because there was like 20 new sellers on that listing that had less than 10 feedback. They were tanking the prices so low, they were losing 75 cents. And at one point they were losing $1.50. I held out and held my items for 4 months. I had a few $100s invested. That's not much, but I had to hold out, and then I sold for a 75-cent loss. So that's stuff the gurus don't tell you on YouTube. The gurus don't tell you these things. Amazon is hard. Running an Amazon business is hard. And Amazon FBA is not easy. Anyways, thank you. And we're going to be doing more videos on like vlogs, and more vlogs at like Goodwill and thrift stores and we're going to be doing some other crazy videos too. So I haven't posted in a long time. This week I'm getting back in the kind of the routine of posting videos and making videos and stuff like that. So I just wanted to throw this quick video up kind of explaining what Amazon gurus don't tell you on YouTube. And with that being said, you're going to have to make your own contradictions in your head if you want to do an Amazon business. Sometimes eBay's better for people. Sometimes Poshmark's better for people. Amazon is not for everyone. So just keep that in mind. Thanks. Have a nice night, and I'll see you on the next one.